Hey everybody, Frugal Farmer here. These are some of the ingredients as I showed you yesterday of my chili. I got the cheap stuff. I saved about $1 a can on everything. I used 2 cans of black beans, 2 cans of the dark red kidney beans, and I used 2 cans of this tomato sauce. You may have to add more tomato sauce. I used cheap seasonings, and I'll show you what I used on seasonings as well. I also got a pound of cheap hamburger, but not fatty hamburger, and a pound of ground sausage. Put that in there, along with about 1.5 cups of onions and 1.5 cups of bell pepper. I'll show you what I did on seasonings. This is what I used on seasonings. I'll start on my left. I used a little bit of black pepper when I first added everything in. I don't season everything out when I first start cooking, because that next morning you want to taste and kind of see where you're at on things. And it's just a light sprinkling. And then the next is store name brand soul food seasoning. Just again, a light sprinkling. This is cheap spices. All these are cheap spices. And this chili powder came off the international aisle, as well as cayenne pepper. Now, I made 2 versions of chili. I made a polite chili, and I made the 5-alarm chili. I use the same stuff in all of these, and both the chilies, and this Lowery seasoning salt. I don't normally use this regular salt, but that Lowery has a seasoning I like. I will use it sparingly. Then the next is garlic powder. Then the next out of the international aisle is this Tajin classic seasoning. And this stuff is kind of like Lowry's, and it is delicious. So you cook everything all through the night. I'll put it on low. Next morning, got up, stirred it up real good, made sure the meat was broken up real good. I got up probably about 6 o'clock and did all that to make sure that everything was loose, and then about 8 o'clock started taste testing it. And then what it does, it goes and gets set up on a long line of crock pots, and the judges go through and check and see what's going on with that. And so they have like a people's choice, first, second, third. Then they have the judge's choice, first, second, and third. Well, I thought if either one of my chilies would win, it would be the hot chili. And what I did add to that was habanero hot sauce, and it was cooking. A lot of people liked it. I didn't win anything for that though. I also added crispy bacon. I broke it up and used about a tablespoon of bacon grease and about 6 to 8 pieces of crunched up bacon in each of them. All of them were made the same way, except for the hot sauce. But what I did win was first place, judge's choice. It surprised me, and really I appreciated that, but it just kind of showed me that you can make good food without spending a bunch of money. You know, all of us have been on hard times. You know, if your budget calls for it, you're going to have to go with the cheap stuff. But you can make that. I use cheap stuff every corner. Spices, beans, tomato sauce. Even the bacon was cheap. Everything I used was cheap. And all you have to do is season. And you can make a good meal as anybody would want. But I won first place. This is the judge's choice. And the next cooking event I'll be entering is a wild game cooking. And I'll be throwing my hand in a catfish stew. Now, down in the description of this, I'll have all the ingredients listed and everything just if you want to try this recipe. But I'm really happy about this. Just that it shows, you can have cheap stuff and still make it taste good. Thanks for stopping by. Come back again when you will. Share, comment, like, hit that subscribe button. God bless.